Good morning. Good morning, good people. Good morning to our students and interested people, those who are interested. Today is Thursday. See how I do that? Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. It is about 6 a.m. in the morning here in wonderful Southwest Nevada, Nye County, Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky, you choose. Good morning, Wadabevi. Buenos dias. Big day. Going to be in Vegas again today, meeting with important people today. Our meme of today is, it's a commandment. Good morning, Mr. Bojangles. Mr. Bojangles, good morning. Our theme, our meme of today is, it is a commandment. More on that later. But just our intro, our morning intro, so that people tuning in for the first time or people not turning in for the first time, remember that our purpose is to help our students and other interested people on their journey through this transcendent life. We ask the question, is this all there is? We're born, a whole bunch of stuff happens, we die. We're just atoms in the void. Is that all there is? And the answer is no. Everybody has to choose for themselves what they believe. It's either yes or no. You don't really get to say, I don't know. You either believe we're atoms in the void or there's something else. And then the next level would be, if there's something else, is that something else, what happens next? Is it a function of how I behave today? And all religions would say yes. What happens next is a function of what you do today. If you're an evil, bad person today, the next round, not so good compared to if you were a good person. Okay. So Maticus Von Atticus has also joined us. So the triumvirate is here. The third triumvirate is here. I made it out of Las Vegas and got the full Autobahn experience. Mr. Stoneballer, okay. So our purpose for being here is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life as preparation for what comes next. We have the belief that, yes, this is not all there is. There is something else, and how we act, behave, perform now has an impact on what happens next. That is what we believe. And we help our students in two primary ways. One, the most important way is the worksheet. That is the experts. And when I say the experts, I mean the experts. I don't mean a guy who says, I discovered how to make a fusion reactor in your garage. I can teleport through time. Not those people. People who are recognized experts. They have educations from top universities. They have a history of having mastered the domain and then gone beyond. How about that? How about that? You like apples? How about them apples? Okay. So the worksheet is the number one most important thing. Take about 4 hours a day to go through it. That is our curriculum. The second way is this podcast. And the podcast is coming together of people, especially live, the third triumvirate, as I like to call them. Wadabevi, Mr. Bojangles, and the fetal marshal. There he is. That's probably the best description, the fetal marshal. Okay, and it's the function of repetition. What? Fetal marshal? Repetition leads to habit. Habit is unconscious behavior. if we calibrate ourselves that we're always going to try to improve the habits that we have. We have the habit of creating better habits. That will create an upward trajectory that we need to have the best possible life. And showing up every day, watching the video every day, getting other people to watch it is doing that. It is helping us have the habit of creating better habits. Ding. Okay, so 5 minutes in, there we go. So that is the intro for people who don't know. Our meme again of today is, it is a commandment. Booyah. And for people who don't know what that is referring to, yesterday, once again, hassled by the people who are supposed to protect and serve. Hassled by those. YouTube video to be posted. Hassled by those who are supposed to be to protect and serve. More on that. What do we got down below, Johnny? What do we have for Johnny? Advice from an 80-year-old. Be a good loser. What does that mean? Well, Jordan Peterson says that means if you're a bad loser, nobody's going to want to play with you in the future. And if nobody's going to want to play with you, it's going to be kind of miserable. And you're not really going to learn, because the best way to learn is to play against people who are better than you, which implies you're going to lose. But it's not really losing, right? I mean, I guess it depends on the definition of losing. In baseball, yes, you're going to lose games, but you don't lose. Losing isn't fatal in baseball. You just get back on schedule, you do another one. Not a loss. Okay? We lost the game. It doesn't mean you're a loser. You lost the game. There's another game tomorrow. So be a good loser, meaning you want people to play against you. Again, you want to keep being able to play in the game. You don't want people to say, no, because when he loses, he has a tantrum and he threatens you or whatever. It's very negative. I don't want to play with that person. So the effect is that person is never really going to get better. They're eventually going to go downhill. That's the Jordan Peterson approach to it. You want to keep playing. You want to play with as many people as you can, people who are better than you, and that helps you become better. And so Atticus von Atticus should be thinking about Warren Buffett's thing of the people that you hang around with the most, right? Okay, cool. Next, what does Seth Godin have to talk about today? He's talking about knowing your customers. It's quite long. The bottom line is, at a small organization, though it can be a breakthrough, it uses the smaller size of the organization to your advantage, because the insights can actually be put to use by a human. Used to make things better for people who count on you. This is worth the effort, and if you're not doing it, you can hire a freelancer to do it for you. And if you're looking for a new gig, this is the part of project. This is the sort of project you can build a business around. Okay, helping people know their customers better. Know your customer. What else do we have on the hit parade? Okay, we've got a very good one from Darren Hardy. It's in red letter. When smart people are stupid. That has to do with he who knows not, but doesn't know that he knows not. People who don't know that they don't know are fools. Okay, they think they know, but they don't know. They don't even know that they don't know. That's one end of the spectrum. Versus people who know that they know. And there are people who don't know that they do know. And there are people who know that they don't know. So in between there's like four characteristics. Darren Hardy goes through it very well in just a few minutes. Definitely worth watching on the worksheet down below. Daily Stoic. We have Arthur Brooks talking about preparation and performance. First you prepare, you practice, and then you perform. It's the two things that go into it. Okay, so let's talk about it's a commandment. It is a commandment. So yesterday, raid number 9, the jackbooted, that's giving too much credit. The clown shoe wearing people, I refuse to think these people are as dumb as people say they are, and vindictive and petty and small. I refuse to accept that as true. So yesterday, once again, cease and desist. In a room, the cars pull up, 4 vehicles pull up. They have 4 relatively high-level people, a lieutenant in the sheriff's department, detective, and 2 people from code enforcement show up. They put a thing on the fence, post a thing on the fence, which you can't take down for fear of a penalty. And they don't give you copies. So you have to take a picture of it with your phone and distribute it. This is the type of people we have, very unprofessional. They don't give you the courtesy of saying, hey, can we have a discussion? We think that you're not doing something right. Let us help you do it right, versus the way they do it. So they come in, they swoop in. Swoop is greatly an exaggeration, more like they bumble their way in on the property. A bunch of overweight, out of shape people with bad haircuts and bad skin. And then they start questioning the women who are there. And they post a thing saying, you can't do this because you're not registered as a business. Versus, hey, it looks like you need a business license to do what you're doing. So they stumble their way through. They intimidate people, very much confrontational, not from a help us understand, but from a, what are you doing? Tell me about this. What about that? Totally. If somebody had their attorney standing next to them would say, time out. We're not having this discussion here. If you want to have it down at the station, happy to do that, but we're not having this discussion here. You don't have to answer their questions. They don't tell you that because they don't. As the lieutenant said, we don't have to do that. In response to, why didn't you have the courtesy to do this? We don't have to. Right. Welcome to the Bush Leagues, people. Welcome to the Bush Leagues. So then, to further illustrate the buffoonery of the people, the thing they posted, number 1 objection, love thy neighbor is not a registered licensed business. It doesn't have a fictitious name. It doesn't have any of this. And the answer is, yeah, because it's a commandment. Okay, people, in your language, it's a slogan. Love thy neighbor isn't a business. It's a commandment from the Bible. It's biblical. Love thy neighbor is a bunch of people who are committed to doing what the Bible says to do. Is their beginning. And they did. They are validly licensed, and they filed for a business license on the property, and it was granted. And then you guys revoked it. And now you're trying to claim that the commandment, God's commandment, Jesus's commandment, Matthew 22:39, for those who want to fact check it. Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor is just people committed to doing what God said. Hey, I'm just doing what God said. Love thy neighbor. Let's look at it, equity. All of the women who are there were either on the street, in the park, or living in their cars. Or let's just leave it with those three things. So it would be better. So let me get this straight. Dum-dum. It would be better to have these women living back out on the street, in the park, in their cars, than in this nice, safe home. That's what you're saying. That's the horse you want to ride. Okay. And then you complain that people are defecating outside, they're panhandling, they're unsafe. You're complaining about that because you won't allow them to live in a house that doesn't even qualify as a group home. And what I mean by that is there's not enough people to even have it as a group home. What does that say about this community when they allow it to happen? Well, the community doesn't know. Hopefully we're going to find out. Hopefully, and it would be great if at tonight's meeting, this was a topic that was brought up of, hey, here's the clown shoe booted buffoons not even having the courtesy to say, hey, can you help us out? We know you're trying to do something good. We know you're trying to do something that we have a problem with, meaning helping get women, especially, out of danger into safe places, a thing that we can have pride in our community. We know you're trying to do that, but we don't know if you're doing it the right way. Oh, that's just a slogan. That's just a commandment. That's just something from the Bible. It's just people who are saying, I'm committed to doing that. We're just, hey, instead of saying good morning, saying, hey, love thy neighbor. Oh, that's what you're doing. Well, what's the business? Oh, that's why you applied for the business license as a brighter beginning, because that's the business. Oh, okay. And these guys over here, you love thy neighbor. You're just people helping find the people to put them in here and maybe giving them a ride as a church that supplies clothing. And oh, wow, that, you know what? We should put you guys up for Citizens of the Year for that. You're really doing great stuff versus what they do and the amount of money they spend. Just not only being there, but there was all of the pre-being there. And now there's the post, because there's going to watch the video. How many people are going to watch the cameras of the people? But I did record it too. And again, the clown-booted, out of shape, bad skin, bad hair, low IQ people try to twist the thing because they can't think. See, when people can't have a conversation, they keep repeating the same thing. So on the video, the in quotes detective keeps repeating, why are you calm down? Why are you breathing so hard? Well, because he knows it's going to be turned into a transcript. So then that causes me to have to repeat, I am calm. And at one point I go on my watch, I say, my pulse is only 84. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. I can hear you breathing. Why are you squaring up against me? I'm not squaring up. I'm holding my camera. It just, it's okay. Anyway, we've hit our time limit. I think, as the Big Lebowski would say, this, what did he say? This aggression will not stand, quoting President Bush. This aggression will not stand. Well, it probably will. They're used to getting away with it. We'll see what happens next. The problem is, he who knows not that he knows not is a fool. So these are people who are used to just using their weight, and I mean their literal weight. I don't mean the weight of the law. I mean their physical weight. I'm about 6'1", and I think I was the least. I think I weighed less than any of them. This reminds me of President Reagan saying, the bassoon players in the army are in better shape than the typical infantryman when he took over. So with that, we've got to remember to pray for those who persecute us. And it's not to pray that they don't persecute us. It's to pray for them because they have an unclean spirit. So with that, let's figure out how we spread the word wide and far, because I believe there are good people out there who will say, yeah, we really need to take the approach of, if you're trying to help people, we're going to help you help people. We're not going to stop you from helping people by making up stuff and then threatening and intimidating the people who are being helped. Shalom. Okay, that's it. Sorry for the length of this, people. Maybe we'll take it down after a short period of time. We will see you all. Matt, good for you. Not bad for some ex-felons. Right. Okay, so 9 o'clock, Starbucks. All are welcome. Let's see. I know 2 people who will be there. So 9 o'clock at Starbucks. Then I'm going to head to Vegas. And with that, we will say Auf Wiedersehen. Bonk, bink.